Jake Paul's California mansion has been raided by the FBI, multiple news organizations report. You can see in this aerial footage agents in uniform outside his home in Calabasas.
You know what's funny about your brother? Your brother talks more shit than anybody else on the planet. They're trying to sue people when people talk shit. There's people out there saying they're fake fights, they're fixed.
You know, for me, in my opinion, I think it's scripted a little bit because, you know, of the weight difference, and, you know, Joshua's a former, you know, champion. And also, you know, he's current, he's active.
That was not a boxing match. Jake Paul had a very healthy fear for his life while he was in there. He was running away. He was trying to get distance. Then he was trying to step in to win this contest. And then he's trying to get out of the way so that he doesn't.
Once again, Jake Paul finds himself entangled in a controversy that could potentially signal the end of his polarizing career as a YouTuber turned professional boxer. New allegations suggesting that Paul orchestrated his high-profile matches, including the much-hyped Netflix event against Anthony Joshua, have ignited widespread debate across social media platforms, with some users even claiming that he and his brother faced possible legal action over these alleged manipulations. Although promoters and regulatory bodies have firmly rejected the notion that professional bouts can be predetermined without facing serious legal repercussions, the doubt surrounding Paul's authenticity inside the ring has intensified significantly. This represents a stunning development for a personality whose previous legal troubles already included an FBI raid on his California residence. Now, as accusations continue to mount, and his boxing credibility faces unprecedented scrutiny, many observers are asking whether this truly marks the conclusion of Jake Paul's extraordinary ascent.
Agents have raided the Southern California home of YouTube star Jake Paul. Federal officials say the search was part of an investigation. Wendy Birch is in Calabasas with what we're learning tonight.
Sky 5 was overhead this morning as federal agents entered Jake Paul's Calabasas home located in this gated community off of Mulholland Highway. We counted close to 24 federal agents, some of them in tactical gear, entering the residence. Why they were here and what they were looking for, that remains unclear. The federal search warrant has been sealed.
Numerous boxing analysts, retired fighters, and promotional figures have cast doubt on the legitimacy of Jake Paul's matches for years, well before the recent arrest rumors began circulating. From strategically selecting opponents who are well past their competitive peak to irregular fight pacing, late-round knockdowns, and contractual provisions believed to contain restrictive stipulations, critics contend that Paul's trajectory has seemed more carefully manufactured than genuinely achieved.
About this, because, like, you know, you saw the Askren fight, we saw these fights that he went into. The Fury one obviously didn't go the way that I thought it was going to go, just because I was so convinced that, like, Jake had these fights fixed, and there's a lot of people who talk about the fights being fixed because it's just the way it is.
Yeah, they tell me that too. They're like, tell me you're not going to take a fall against Paul. Everybody says that to me. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're going to pay me all the money in the world.
Seasoned voices within the boxing community have consistently observed that while Paul generates considerable attention and revenue for the sport, his matchups frequently avoid exposing him to genuine competitive threats, fueling suspicions that fight outcomes are structured to safeguard his brand rather than test authentic ability. As these concerns accumulate, each new controversy does not emerge in isolation. Instead, it reinforces an evolving narrative that Jake Paul's boxing career has been constructed on image, strategic leverage, and calculated control rather than the unpredictable ferocity that defines the sport at its highest level.
That Jake Paul fight was set up.
What happened to me is what was going to happen to him, and Eddie dropped those hands. If I say, Rampage, I'm going to pay you $2 million, right? Let this dude beat you, what you going to do? You're going to feel disrespected, number one. Right? That ain't enough money. For me to do that, I got to be willing to walk away for good. Something like 20-something million where I can invest in it. Fall off.
Previously, the bout between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul attracted significant attention due to its intensity and dramatic elements. Speculation regarding a leaked script suggesting that the Paul vs. Tyson fight was prearranged generated considerable online excitement. Purported audio recordings seem to support assertions that the match's key dramatic moments, including Tyson's apparent exhaustion leading to Paul's knockout victory, were deliberately staged.
United States is $1.3 million. Again, that's over the course of the person's entire life. Jake Paul earned 30 times that in one night. People talk about winners and losers, like Jake Paul.
Following his victory over Mike Tyson, Jake Paul shared his reflections on his performance inside the ring. Speaking with considerable assurance about the contest, Paul commented, "I didn't get punched much or hurt." This remark underscored his conviction that he had controlled the match with minimal resistance. Many of Paul's supporters celebrated his statements, viewing them as evidence of his abilities and his preparedness to face even legendary opponents. However, detractors were swift to highlight the absence of genuine drama and danger in the fight, arguing that Tyson's showing was underwhelming and questioning whether the matchup represented a fair contest.
Big as the what?
Why was Mike wearing assless chaps though? In the
did that moment go viral with his cheeks out?
I don't know. It made my stomach hurt.
I was seeing it.
Why didn't he have
underwear on? He had a G-string on. Is what he had.
I thought he was completely butt naked.
Nah, he looked like a stripper.
But yeah, biggest live gate, 18.1 millions in U.S. boxing history outside of Las Vegas. A phenomenal night. I'm sorry I didn't knock him out though, guys.
Shut the fuck up. It was crazy when we talked about this. I told him you were going to say some dumb shit.
The recent confrontation with Anthony Joshua appears to follow a similar pattern. Numerous commentators have characterized the pairing as highly mismatched, pointing to the considerable disparities in experience, physical stature, and competitive pedigree between Paul and Joshua, with some describing the event as more theatrical production than athletic competition. A former digital content creator, with a 12-1 record stepping into the ring against a two-time world heavyweight champion, who has faced elite opposition throughout his career, has raised many eyebrows. Many analysts have described the matchup as uneven, with Paul viewed by some as a commercially driven opponent rather than a credible challenge, further intensifying speculation that the event prioritizes spectacle over sporting integrity.
Got him against Anthony Joshua. Massive unit, two-time world champ, still got a big punch. I think he's mentally fragile at world level if he goes against the big guns because of the knockout, especially the Dubois knockout when he got fucking splattered. You know what I mean? In round 5, and he got hurt early on, and then he got done. And he's not been in the ring for 13 months.
Yeah.
But can you see a world in which Jake Paul is competitive in this fight?
No.
No. How do you see the fight going if AJ takes it serious?
Meanwhile, Jake Paul is approaching this bout with a degree of self-assurance that has surprised even experienced observers. In recent commentary, it has been noted that he projects strong belief in his capacity to rise to the occasion and secure victory. Unlike some of his prior contests, Paul is demonstrating intensified focus and determination in his preparations. Analysts monitoring his training emphasize that his mental approach is crucial and that his confidence stems from a combination of physical conditioning and psychological resilience. This mindset indicates that he is not dismissing the challenge of facing a former heavyweight champion, but is instead embracing it as an opportunity to validate himself on an international stage.
He's very big. I'm here to shock the world, inspire the next generation. We're in the Heat arena. I'm a big Heat fan. Miami's on fire. This is my first pro fight, was in Miami against Gibb. I'm bringing that same energy.
However, Jake Paul's growing confidence within the boxing arena has attracted skepticism from numerous seasoned analysts. Critics contend that Paul's belief in his ability to seriously challenge a fighter of Anthony Joshua's caliber is unrealistic. Joshua, a highly accomplished and experienced heavyweight, possesses years of rigorous training, multiple championship bouts, and proven stamina that Paul has never encountered. Observers have also noted that Paul's physical condition and performance characteristics may suggest reliance on performance-enhancing substances.
Natural, no. I can say that with pretty certain confidence in that statement, mainly because, as you heard me mention, I know a lot of the people he trains with, and I have heard things. Now let's give Jake the benefit of the doubt, right? He's able to restrain from the peer pressure that everyone's putting on him to hop on these certain compounds. Then that would be cool, to train natural, do what he needs to do. But the thing is, His body composition has changed so much, his explosiveness, his power, and yes, that comes with training and time. I find it very, very suspicious that for some reason, whenever a drug test gets brought up, for instance, when Fury wanted that in the contract, Jake Paul turns them down. So you should think to yourself, it's probably because he's not natural. Now I want to make it clear, I don't care whether Jake Paul is natural or not. There's so many people that aren't natural that are in combat sports. In fact, Tyron Woodley probably is also not natural. Everyone wants that little edge over their competition, and that's where drugs and anabolics come into play. There's certain compounds that are out there that just increase your explosiveness immensely, your recovery, so that you can stay in the same weight class, which is very important for combat sports, whether that's boxing, UFC, whatever type of combat sport you're doing. So that is why you guys have seen so much improvement from Jake Paul. Of course, he has a great circle around him, great trainers, great coaches, a great regimen, but definitely anabolics play a very fundamental role in that. They allow him to train as hard as he does. They allow him to increase his power and speed. And of course, when you think of those concepts, that's essentially the recipe.
Despite all the surrounding controversies, substantial sums of money are being wagered on this event. The betting activity itself has become an integral part of the debate surrounding the Paul versus Joshua matchup. Fans, casual gamblers, and even certain prominent personalities have been actively placing bets on various outcomes, which has further intensified the ongoing discussion about whether this contest represents a legitimate sporting competition or merely a commercial spectacle.
So do you think it's going to be real this fight? Do you think it's actually, so you think that Jake Paul...
You couldn't fake it. You really think Anthony Joshua's going to put his whole livelihood on the line for Jake Paul?
No, I don't think he would.
So there you go. It's over when he wants it to be over.
There could be some kind of tacit agreement in the background.
How?
Where they have a handshake.
Then that's illegal. You're going to jail.
Exactly, it's illegal. That's what I was going to say.
So you can't.
Because it's not an exhibition.
No, it's a fight.
So
and people are betting on big amounts of money.
So we're watching this. I'm flying out there next week to Miami to watch it. So I'm going out there. He's laughing. I'm getting some on. So it's all good. But it's like Jake Paul against Anthony Joshua, 6 foot, what's he, 6'6"?
About that.
Fucking, what is he, 16, what's 245 pounds?
He can't be a pound over 245,
what's
so
that in stone?
The best part, just on 17 stone or just under.
So Jake lost to Tommy Fury, and that's the one everyone keeps on. Do you think he's improved much since Tommy Fury?
Yeah, but do I think he's improved enough to be competitive? Unless I close my eyes and Josh is completely shot to bits, no.
Yeah, and so is the potential that Jake Paul, like, I know you keep saying no, I know you're right, but is there a world in which you see...
As allegations regarding a leaked script continue to spread, boxers who had previously faced Jake Paul encountered criticism, with some observers accusing them of compromising their own legacies. Fans speculated that Tyson had effectively sold himself to Paul, diminishing his celebrated career by participating in a contest widely perceived as prearranged.
Our script was fully leaked all the way down to the bow Jake did in round 8. This profile on X posted it anonymously one day before the fight, explaining everything before deleting it today. A fake script has been going around that said Mike Tyson will get KO'd in round 5, but that one was clearly not real or an older script. This will give you goosebumps. I'm just going to read you parts, but if you want to see the full script, I'll show you it at the end. Round 1, opening bell rings and Tyson is showing flashes of his old form, but slower than his prime. Round 2, Tyson comes alive, but his breathing grows heavier. Round 3, Paul gains confidence and lands a sharp right that stuns Tyson. That's exactly what happened. Then round 4 and 5, the fatigue sets in strong for Tyson and Jake is landing a bunch of hits. Round 6, Jake showboats, which is the tongue thing he did here. Then on round 7, Jake plays it safe to not KO Mike. And round 8 wins by decision and bows at the end. This is crazy. Subscribe if you want to read it yourself.
Observers reported unusual interactions during Jake Paul's matches, including Tyson allegedly whispering instructions to Paul and referees appearing to gesture Paul away from particular movements. These incidents fueled suspicions of scripting and choreographed staging. Eddie Hearn, CEO of Matchroom Boxing, has publicly refuted claims that the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight is scripted or manipulated. Hearn has emphasized that if the bout proceeds, it would be a genuine professional contest conducted under Queensberry rules, not an exhibition or a predetermined performance, directly countering allegations of prearrangement.
Tyson was 100% scripted. Mike Tyson repeatedly bit his boxing glove throughout the fight. When fights are scripted, fighters do weird gestures to signal that they're hurt. It's very possible Mike Tyson was biting on his glove to tell Jake Paul to calm down. Now, if that's not enough proof that this fight was scripted, in the middle of the fight, Mike Tyson is literally talking to Jake Paul while they are clinching. And in the middle of the fight, the referee told Jake Paul to stop measuring. For those of you who don't know, in boxing terms, measuring means that you're setting up for a knockout by seeing how far your opponent is with jab. The referee literally told Jake Paul to stop measuring, and before the fight, we see Mike Tyson and Jake Paul whispering stuff to each other. Mike Tyson biting on his gloves, whispering secrets to Jake Paul in the middle of the fight, and the referee literally telling Jake Paul to stop measuring during the fight.
Frank Smith has generated additional controversy surrounding the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul matchup, cautioning that the event prioritizes showmanship over athletic merit. He argued that instead of representing a legitimate boxing contest, the bout would function as a spectacle engineered for entertainment purposes rather than a serious examination of skill. Smith suggested that what fans are receiving is designed to generate revenue and provoke reactions rather than uphold boxing's competitive principles. By characterizing it as serious entertainment, he raised doubts about how authentic or competitive the fight would genuinely be. Smith also expressed continued hope that a Fury versus Joshua showdown could eventually materialize, referring to it as the biggest possible fight in the division and voicing optimism that by 2026, that mega event might finally come to pass. At the same time, Smith cautioned that boxing is replete with rhetoric and that not every proposed fight ultimately happens, implying that despite fan excitement, numerous logistical and contractual obstacles remain unresolved.
Anthony is ruining his legacy just by taking this fight.
Fans don't respect what he's done in the sport already. He's an Olympic gold medalist, two-time unified heavyweight champion of the world.
I sort of sympathize with him because I feel like if he doesn't beat him quicker than he beat Francis, people are just going to write it off. I'll ask you bluntly, have there been any discussions about there's an agreement, there's a secret contract? Have any of those discussions happened regarding this fight?
It's an 8-round professional fight. AJ wouldn't have taken it if that was the stance it had to be, if it was an exhibition, if it was you've got to hold him up for 8 rounds. It wouldn't suit Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is going in there to knock out Jake Paul.
Sorry, just to silence all the doubters here. You know, a lot of people saying this can't be real. You know, Anthony Joshua going in there, it must be an exhibition, or Anthony Joshua's going to it's going to be choreographed and Anthony's going to carry him through a couple of rounds. I know Anthony Joshua. Just to silence all those doubters, he's going to go in there to do a job, right?
100% real. It's 100% real. People asking why is it 8 rounds, not 10? Because I don't think it goes past the first round. So it's, you know, regardless, it's quite irrelevant. I think he steps across the ring and knocks him out. You know, but we're in for a bit of fun, and everyone's going to be tuning in.
It might not be fun for Jake Paul. I mean, it's serious entertainment, is it?
Yeah, 100%. You know, look, I agree with you. I accept Jake Paul is absolutely mental for doing this, and I don't think he quite realises. I think he's got people around him who actually are saying, you know, Anthony Joshua's chinny. He said it in interviews. It's quite wild, but you know, if that's the world he wants to live in, he'll find out on December 19th.
And Frank, to finish with, the plan is still sometime in 2026, AJ against Tyson Fury. And Turki Al-Sheikh's working on that, is he?
That's the fight we want to make. That's the fight we want to see. Look, we're all guilty of doing a lot of talking over the years and that not happening. So I don't want to talk too much, but that is definitely what we want to see in 2026. It's one of the biggest fights in the sport.